From the bottom of my heart, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching.
This guy's channel. Jody's channel.
Jody's Corner. My favorite.
Thank you so much. YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. I am Jody Joe. Thank you guys so very much for being here. It's so hard to take the smile off my face and hold it back to be more serious because, bruh, some of the most epic news. This is probably the most epic news coming out of DC besides the thought of a Superman movie being announced. This is probably even more epic than that, depending on who you are. First of all, I got to say a couple of things. Jody Thomas! And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Ben Affleck's Batman is returning to the DC films in Flashpoint. And some of the most amazing things that I have read from this exclusive from Vanity Fair blow my mind. Batman fans who love Batfleck, rejoice. Because this is going to be epic. This news is gargantuan. So much so that I couldn't wait for tomorrow's live stream on Jody's Corner Live. Expect a big panel in the studio at 5 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. An epic discussion on this news, DC fandom news, Ye Fisher news, all the news, bruh. So Ben Affleck returned as Batman in The Flash. Jody has been saying for, I don't know, over 2 years that Flashpoint will come out. They're going to fix the universe with Flashpoint. It would put Ben Affleck in Flashpoint and bring Robert Pattinson out of Flashpoint. They would use Flashpoint elements to fix the narrative of the DC universe. Wonder Woman saved the DC universe by being a great film. Wonder Woman saved the DC universe by making the fans in reality want to give DC more love and affection after the Dark Snyderverse that made a lot of people run away. So Patty Jenkins very much saved the universe as a business entity to keep striving forward and learning and course correcting the way to the future to kind of put them on the right path. But even so, even though Patty did that and Gal's Wonder Woman did that, we still narratively had issues. You had a Wonder Woman in the past. You had a Batman in the messing with time travel who was on his way out due to his own personal reasons. You had Cyborg in the Justice League reshoots with Joss Whedon, Flash doing this. Where's Green Lantern? There were so many, Dark Superman. There were so many things that were wrong with the DC universe that you needed a narrative savior. Wonder Woman very much took on two roles in the DC universe and still does. She is the Superman and she's the Wonder Woman of the DC universe. We need Superman. That's another video for another time. We'll talk about that tomorrow on Friday. But Batman himself needed fixing as well. He was too old. His rogues gallery already gone. Jason Todd murdered. Dick Grayson dead. Where are the rogues gallery villains? Retired. Living dead, murdered, AARP, somewhere Baskin Robbins working as managers, like Better Call Saul, gone. He's too old. We've seen all of his story. It's done. He was too old to be cast as a universe Batman. Ben Affleck is very much a solo V for Vendetta Watchmen story type of Batman, not the young enough Batman that you want to build a universe. But we got that with Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson, ladies and gentlemen, is the Batman of the future that will be in the universe to connect and be next to Wonder Woman and Aquaman and Superman and Shazam and all the others. How do we make it make sense? I've always said Flashpoint is the narrative savior to try to put all these pieces together. Because Flashpoint's story was something that was written by Jeff Johns. Thank you, Jeff Johns. I believe Jeff Johns. I do not believe the liar Ye Fisher that Jeff Johns has been toxic and has been abusive and has allowed that behavior. I do not believe it one bit. I believe Jeff Johns. This is Team Jeff Johns. This is Team DC, Team Patty Jenkins on this end. So he created a Flashpoint story a few years back that made him run into time to change alternate realities. They're not going to adapt that verbatim. They're going to use that kind of story in order to fix the universe. Him changing time, which will warp reality, make different universes, which means that Michael Keaton's Batman, Batfleck's Batman, and Robert Pattinson's Batman all could be in the movie. The movie could start with Batfleck and bring in Michael Keaton, and it can end on the other end with a new Batman ushering out of Flashpoint due to the time shift and the reality warping that Flashpoint can create. Mind you, Flashpoint is going to be different than the comic run from Jeff Johns that we know and love. But the biggest news here is Batfleck is returning in the cape and cowl. We are getting the best of three worlds. We're getting the future of DC with Flashpoint and Battinson after it's over. We're going to get a glimpse of the past that someone we used to know, somebody, with Michael Keaton's Tim Burton-esque 1989 and 1992 Batman and Batman Returns. That's going to be great. And we're going to get the Snyderverse Batman, the coolest looking Batman we've ever seen, with Ben Affleck's Batman. A lot of people wanted to see him back. I ain't going to lie. I am hyped to see him play Batman again. This is going to be a moment of closure. Him personally saying goodbye to the role in Flashpoint is going to make me feel some type of way. And in this article, it talks about they're using the narrative of their dead mothers to tie Ben Affleck's Batman and Ezra Miller's Flash together. We're going to go into the story and take a couple of excerpts out of here so we can get an understanding of just why this is probably one of the most ultimate Jody Damas moments that I've been saying on my channel for the longest time. DC, thank you for watching my channel and using me as a guiding point to fixing the universe. I don't even need the credit. It's all fine because we win in the end. So let's take a look. So they're talking about how Batfleck is coming back. Let's go ahead and pull that up in large screen for you guys. So the Flash movie is planned for release in summer of 2022, right? Affleck got the script at the end of last week, and he just agreed to it this week to join the project. That's huge. Here's a quote. He's a very substantial, this is Andy Muschietti, I believe. He's a very substantial part of the emotional impact of the movie. The interaction and relationship between Barry and Affleck's Wayne will bring an emotional level that we haven't seen before, the director said. It's Barry's movie. It's Barry's story. But their characters are more related than we think. They both lost their mothers to murder, and that's one of the emotional vessels of the movie. That's where Affleck Batman kicks in. Now, we're about to read together some epic shit, almost as if they just went to my channel and just said, yo, what does that Jody think? He's been predicting shit. This Jody Damas shit is real, bro. There's no denying this shit. Let's continue on and read some of this. It's clear this director knows exactly what he's doing, bro. Flashpoint just took a huge boost for me. We're about to see Batfleck again. Woo! Let's go. He says, I'm glad to be collaborating with someone who has seen both sides of the camera too. He understands. He's talking about Ben Affleck. Affleck won't be the only Batman making a comeback. A few more of the alternate dimension heroes who turn up in Flash movie will be figures we've seen before. Michael Keaton's Batman from the 1989 Tim Burton film is also set to appear in what Muschietti said was a substantial part. Muschietti knows what he's doing here, and Christina Hudson has written a script so far that I'm liking the sound of, even though Christina Hudson is my biggest worry with the Flash movie. Christina Hudson wrote Bumblebee, which was not a strong film story-wise. She's also doing the screenplay. She did the screenplay script for Birds of Prey, which was a terrible trash story, terrible script, very SJW and agenda heavy. I got my eye on Christina Hudson, but so far what I've heard from Christina with these storyboard elements, I'm loving what I'm hearing. I just need this thing to execute. You have so many ingredients here to make one of the best superhero movies. It is insane. I feel like jumping out this window right now and just seeing if I could bat glide to the sidewalk. Bro, that's how good I feel. Check this next sheet out. It's going to blow your motherfucking mind. They know what they are doing. They have a plan. Let's check this sheet out. Scrolling down, look at that Batman, sexy. Here it is. There's another reason the Flash needed the character affectionately known as Batfleck. In DC's movie universe, Affleck's Gray Temple Bruce Wayne is one of Ezra Miller's Flash would consider the original Batman, the one he already fought alongside with the previous Zack Snyder films. Familiarity. So check this. Muschietti said, the director said, it wouldn't work as well for him to venture into the company of other Batmen without having Affleck as the starting point, saying, quote, he's the baseline. He's part of that unaltered state before before we jump into Barry's adventure, there is a familiarity there. The quote is there. It says right here, it wouldn't work as well for him to venture into other Batmen. Other Batman, who are they? Michael Keaton's Batman and Robert Pattinson's Battinson. We got Batfleck, Michael Keaton, Batfleck, and Battinson in this motherfucker, bro. That's what he's talking about. Wow. And he's showing respect to the Snyderverse right here. He's showing respect to what Ben Affleck did as Batman. He was one of the best looking Batman of all time. We cannot deny that. Just needed to see more from his film. Never gonna get it, but I'll take this for sure, Jack. DC still has other motivations for exploring the story. Batman's too valuable characters to leave follow for long, and new characters are stepping into the role. New actors will forever be stepping into the role. By threading the concept of a multiverse into DC storyline, Warner Brothers is attempting to create a way for all of the competing factions of its fandom to coexist together. Unlike the Marvel Cinematic Universe or Star Wars and everything which is done to be a part of the same canon, the multiverse can approach all projects to vary greatly in tone or feature different actors while still being threaded together. Ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, this is going to be a universe like no other. Imagine V for Vendetta and Watchmen being tied into this. V for Vendetta is the greatest comic book movie ever made, in my opinion, in Dark Knight Rises. So far, the multiverse has helped approach DC Comics, differentiate itself, and revisit the same characters. We're talking about, they did Grant Gustin. They're talking about other films. They're talking about Joss Whedon, HBO Max. They're talking about Barbara Machete is the producer of The Flash, and she told Vanity Fair that she worried that this might make him reluctant to return at all. She said, quote, "There have been some of all sorts of stories and things he said himself about having a very hard time playing Batman, and it had been difficult for him. I think it was more a difficult time in his life. When we approached him, he's now in a very different time in his life. He was very open to it, which was a bit of a surprise to us. It was a question mark." Look at this other quote that's right here. Look at this. Is amazing. "We're all human and go through great times in our lives and terrible times in our lives," she added. "Right now, he's in a place where he can actually enjoy being Batman. Plus, he doesn't have to carry the entire movie. It's a pivotal role, but at the same time, it's a fun part." And then we go on to talk about filmmaker Matt Reeves. Look, you got Matt Reeves talking about here, the Planet of the Apes is now doing the Batman. Robert Pattinson, that film was in the midst of shooting when coronavirus hit. Although the standalone for Batfleck didn't happen, he admires to continue to champion Affleck's take on the character. With The Flash, they'll get to see him answer the bat signal at least once more. I gotta tell you, man, this makes me almost emotional, man, reading this right here. What Barbara had to say about Ben Affleck, that's touching. That's really emotional to me. I want to read that again because that almost must make you bring tears to your eyes. The man loved the character so freaking much but he hated the universe it was in. He hated the changes. He hated so much, and it was a dark time in his life. Look, and to know that he's at a point now where he hated Batman a year ago. I'm done with it. I'm done with this thing I love. No, I'm not coming back. To now, yeah, sure, I'm down. I'll do it. Do you know what freaking full circle that is to be in life? Like as a man, where he is in his life, to come full circle, to go from hating something, despising it, hurting from the cowl because you love the cowl, but your life ain't shit. You know how good of a place he has to be in? It surprised even Barbara Machete. That surprised me. I thought he would never have come back. But that just goes to show you that no matter how dark your life is, no matter how depressing you are, no matter how much anxiety or issues or mental capacity or depression you're going through, it always gets better. It always gets better. This motherfreaker has healed and is continuing to heal. He's in a good place in his life. Read this again from Barbara. The producer of The Flash told Vanity Fair that she had worried that this might make Ben Affleck reluctant to return at all. She says, quote, "There have been all sorts of stories and things that he said himself about having a very hard time playing Batman, and it had been difficult for him. I think it was more about a difficult time in his life. When we approached him, he is now in a different time in his life. He was very open to it, which was a bit of a surprise to us. It was a question mark. So that she was shocked, end quote. She was shocked. Wow. Baby, we can legitimately, Ben wants to do it. Let's do this shit. Everybody wins here. Snyder fans who wanted Batfleck. Me who wanted a Batfleck. Me who wanted Battinson, a new future. DC fans who want to see everything come together as much as they can get. Or just comic book fans that just want to see as much epicness on screen as they possibly can. Everybody wins in this situation. This is a symbolic moment for the Flashpoint movie, and this is why I've said it again, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. Flashpoint will fix the narrative of this universe. Flashpoint is the most important movie of the future of DC. Jody Damas. This shit is real. She says we're all human and we go through great times in our life and terrible times in our life. Right now, he is in a place where he can actually enjoy being Batman. That's tough. That's emotional like a motherfucker. He's in a place right now where he can actually enjoy. Because look, I love Batman and the character. You know, because I'm Batman turned me off a lot, but I still love Batman and the character. Superman's my favorite character, bro. And it makes me think of Superman about someone who like Henry Cavill. He loves Superman, but he hates what he had to go through in the Snyderverse telling that dark story. And he's been vocal so many times about the lighthearted traditional story with an edge that he wanted to tell. He even gave storyline elements from comics. Man of Tomorrow. That's a new beginning. That's a clean slate Superman. To know, it makes me think of what would Henry Cavill feel like? If DC says, hey, man, Henry, would you like to be Superman again? The feeling that Henry would feel off hearing that, I feel that off of what she's saying. Right now, he's in a place where he can actually enjoy being Batman. Bro, that shit is epic, bro. Shout out to Ben Affleck, bro, for doing this shit. You are about to complete cycles for a whole bunch of fans who said you are the best Batman to ever be on screen. Bro, you just made this. Let me tell you how important this is. I'm going to go full 4K cam. Ben Affleck, what you just did here in Vanity Fair breaking this news, you just made Flashpoint a $1 billion film. Just like that. In fact, I'm willing to go even further. Out of Batman, The Batman from Matt Reeves, Wonder Woman 1984, Black Adam, and Flashpoint, out of those 4 epic films, it is my belief, if he's in this movie enough to where trailers are done, doing the right trailers, releasing the right news with the right promotion, all of this is suspect to the equal promotion as the other titans of DC. This will be the highest grossing superhero film out of those 4 movies, simply because we're about to get a look at Michael Keaton's Batman. We're about to get a look at Ben Affleck's Batman, and we might even get a little teaser of Robert Pattinson's Battinson. Ladies and gentlemen, rejoice in this epic news. I am thrilled to the heavens. I invite you all to be there tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time, where me and the panel on Jody's Corner Live in studio are going to discuss and dissect this thing to the motherfreaking heavens. Subscribe to the channel for more of that real content. Ben Affleck, I'm happy for you, bro. I am legitimately happy for you. This is fantastic news. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.